Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jenk Plays with me, Jenk. And today we're playing some more Transport Fever 2. Last episode we set up a very lucrative, it seems, ship link between our farm way up here near Arlington and our food production facilities down here around Stockton, and use that to ship food back up the river to drop off by Olathe. Because you'll remember when we did the transport link between the cities, Olathe was struggling a bit in terms of demand for passengers. So we figured we'd get them some food, see if that helped with growth. And it seems to have helped. There's definitely more demand than there was a couple of episodes ago. We need to keep an eye on this. Potentially the flow rate is a little bit too low. But we'll come back and check on that in a bit and make sure that we're not wasting food up here. You can see we've also got a transport link coming through. And there's also quite a lot of demand for the transport between McKinney, Oceanside and Olathe as a whole. So off screen I've just beefed this up a little bit, and also I've been paying down our loans so we have more money to play with because we're not paying interest, so we make more money. Today might be a longer episode, we'll see how we go. A couple of things on my list of things that I want to think about, one of which is adding another farm to this food production. There's potentially two ways we could do this, one of which, well, multiple ways we can do this. The two main ones I'm considering is pulling one of these farms into this port and adding that to the shipping. Alternatively, adding a ship port to this farm down here and shipping it back up. It might be that there's another farm further down, say potentially here, that we could use, because again, as we discussed in the earlier episode, the further you transport your product, the more profitable it is because it costs more to deliver. But I think in terms of the speed at which you want to bring this online, it's probably easiest to bring this farm into action and ship it here. We might want to consider expanding this port a little bit more. We already did, so we turned it into a large port with 2 terminals. What we might want to do is expand it further, add a second, or maybe potentially more than 2 additional berthings to make it easier to access. We could extend out that. I don't really like doing that. We could do it along here. We might even add another building. That's passenger, want cargo. Add another building, extend it out, make it bigger. But we'll have to think about that in a bit. So that's one of the things I want to think about. Another one is potentially adding more transport. So we could do a ship between Salt Lake City up here and McKinney down here and get some transport on this line because currently they're not connected. I do want to put some trains in at some point, but I still think we're borderline now. I think we want to grow the cities a little bit more, and then we can consider putting in some trains. But yeah, potentially a ferry from Salt Lake City down to McKinney, and that can be like the main transport hub. And we also maybe could consider reviewing our fuel line up here, maybe bring Arlington online as well, and then that means that we could then have all of the, except West Valley, we need to think about what we're going to do with them, all of the cities on this main middle island being supplied and also transported as well. So I could say that that's probably our goal for the next couple of episodes, is to bring every city here with at least one supply, and then also with transport within them as well. So I think we'll start today with putting another farm online down here with food production. I think what I am going to do is what I suggested in the first place, which is add one down here, so a cargo harbour large. Let's see if we can just squeeze it in. We definitely was possible last time we looked at this. There we go. A bit further there. Yeah, put it there. We'll terraform that land a bit, make it a bit tidier. Bring it up to the back. Bring that round. Out. Maybe smooth it around the corner there. Okay. So that's connected. This might be a very quick fix. We can go and do some other stuff as well. Let's configure this. If we add another large dock, we'll start with 1 for now. It's not especially efficient us doing this because it means we only get 1 potential landing unless we dig out of here, but to be honest right now that's as much as we're going to need because it's going to go up and back, up and back. We could consider adding a second one on there to make it easier for, let me put the lines up so you can see this one here. At the moment, one of them's going out and round. If we had a flat-fronted port, we could make it easier for them to just come in and don't have to go around. But considering how little time that's taking, with the overall rate on that line, the speed at which they're transporting, the couple of seconds to turn around here is negligible, so we're not too fussed about that. Oh, Olathe now wants a new... Interesting, so that's the first time that's happened. I think that's because we're supplying it with at least one of them, so now it wants tools and construction materials. Oh boy. Okay. So we'll come back to that. What I think we might do is supply one of these additional needs for Olathe and also do that for West Valley City as well at the same time. We need to have a think about how we're getting up there, because that's going to be challenging. We might need to do some terraforming. It's going to be quite expensive, but we'll figure it out. We'd also need to consider that it's currently not connected to any other areas. So anything we bring into here will create private demand, and that will help it grow. But it also means that there'll be competition for our transport routes. So we have to have a think about how we might deal with that. So we'll come back to that. Let's focus on the food for now. So we've got our link in. It's probably going to be very quick. We've got our boats over here. Set up the line, new line. So we've got Little Rock Port. Let's change the name of that to Little Rock Farm Port. Actually put it after the short code. Little Rock Farm Port. And we'll do that. Don't really care. We want, for now, load grain. And then unload grain. And we're going to call that SF LR Farm to OS Food. Now if we then do say OS Food, we can see that our lines might change that to be port just so it's consistent. I know we've set it up as a transport hub, but for now, because it's only the one, I wouldn't necessarily describe it as a hub just yet. We could probably do a lot more development down here. Yeah, so that line's now in. We can put a ship on. Cargo. We don't actually have large cargo ships just yet. Some future-proofing a little bit, but also puts a bit of a buffer in terms of how much needs to go in there. And looking at this, we can very easily afford to go big on this. If we go start with 4 and see, that might actually be too many. We'll start with 4, see what that rate looks like. Yeah, actually, I'm okay with that. I think if we took one off, we'd be below 200, and we want to saturate this line because we know that we've got a lot of demand for food, and we're not actually feeding the food processing plant enough just yet for the amount of demand we've got. So if we bring that on, get that going, then we come back and revisit that. So that's sorted for now. The other things we talked about, transporting, doing potentially a ship transport link between Salt Lake City and McKinney. I think we might put on hold for now and revisit Olathe and West Valley City, because they've just had the demand come on and we could deal with both of them at the same time. So just need to have a think about this. So tools is logs, planks, and then tools, I think, off the top of my head. We need to find a tool factory just to confirm that. So yeah, up here, so we've got Arlington Tool Factory. So we could do logs, planks, tools. And it's 2 planks to 1, 2 logs to 1 plank, but we can see that actually it breaks down, so it's actually a 1-to-1 relationship between the forest and the sawmill, and then tools is 1-to-1 as well. So we could actually very easily saturate this. So let's just have a look at this. We'd probably want to put a bypass in around West Valley City. We want to go as direct route as possible. I'm really cheeky. Let's see if we can bridge over here and see how much that's going to cost. I mean, I like the idea of it, but it feels extravagant. Maybe later on when we've got like better bridges, we could put in a better link there, but for now I think we'll just go around. So we'll do logs and around, follow the existing road. Might straighten it out actually, make the road more efficient to planks, and then somehow got to get down to tools. Don't think I've ever actually really built on a Mesa before, so I need to just have a think about this, and you can see that gradient there. Oh yes, this is going to be very windy. Let's see if we can do a small country road. I'll be inclined to do it on this side where we've got a bit more space. So we start off, if we bring this around, this might take actually quite a long time, so I hope you guys are... Okay, so if we go... Nope, don't want a tunnel. Do we want a tunnel, actually? I suppose we could clear cut it. What difference does it make? Slightly cheaper to clear cut it. I think I might actually clear cut it because then we can see it. I'm going to pause for now because we're going to spend... No, actually I'll just do it normal time. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of money doing this. So we want to bring it in. Okay. Keep going round and down. At some point we're going to have to loop back round. Yeah, I still think this is definitely our best option. It's less efficient, but I can't honestly say I can think of any better way to get off the mesa given the severity of those slopes. We can bring it around. Ooh, interesting, we can make it green. Let's make that green. We'll level it off here. You have to go down to level it off. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can do some terraforming, tidy it up a bit. Make that bigger and stronger. Just smooth that round. Smooth that round. I quite like this like severe slope. The texture's looking a bit funky, but that looks pretty cool. And let's just tidy this up and bring it, level it out actually. Bring this out. And make that less strong. Road might be a problem. Maybe we just don't look too closely at this bit. Maybe we could put some trees in. No, that doesn't look great. Can you tell I'm not really a detail person? Yeah, that'll do. I mean, I'm not going to look too closely at that, hopefully. We can always come back. Okay, so we've got our way down now. We'll turn that, now that it's on the flat, into a major road, or a medium road. I'm going to keep it relatively level. Looks mostly level. Say before it starts actually cutting into the ground. Let's just go gently in small sections so we're not causing too much terrain deformation. Don't really want to be cutting through that. Can go up. Go around. One of the concerns is we might be getting quite steep on these, and the steepness is going to impact the speed of the vehicles as well if they're coming back up fully laden. But we can deal with that later. Just don't go straight, don't want to bend. And now we could probably just do a straight run most of the way there. No, I don't want to go through it. As a general rule, I don't really like deforming the terrain. I like to try and keep it looking as natural as possible. And that should bring us in. There we go. So we've got now to our tools. We'll just quickly upgrade that road there. Okay, so we now have a more direct road through back up. We've got some more logs over there we could pull in if we need. Let's do some gentle terraforming. There we go. And here. Okay. So then we've got our... Let's bulk out that road a little bit as well. I think probably there's as high up as I want to get it. I think it looks more interesting to have it transition to a narrower road. We may come back when we have better roads and better vehicles and revisit this, but for now I think this will do. Ignore the slightly janky textures there. Comes back around. And now we're up here, we can actually, just as it goes into it. And then we can start thinking about making this more direct. Okay. I'm actually just going to go through and delete all of the pre-existing road, and we're going to redo it ourselves, because it's very long and very windy, and long and windy is inefficient. And we have the money to kind of do our own thing here. Apologies if this demolition noise is very loud for you. It's not too loud for me, but I might turn it down after. For now, you'll just have to suffer a little bit. I'm sorry. Interestingly, they're not complaining about not having a connection, even though we've just taken off the connection. But I think it might just be because we put the connection in, so they're less fussed about it, and they don't really care about being connected to that right now. So then we can just do all the road ourselves. There we go. And now we are ready to go and build our new super efficient, hopefully, super efficient road to the planks and then to the tools, and we can bring them back up. We can also bring them back down and around through to Olathe potentially. Based off where this is, I might bring them in by ship again, but it depends on demand. I think, let's see what West Valley wants. 17 and Olathe want 7. I'll have a think about it. Maybe one ship would probably be enough to manage the demand for now, and then we can scale it up later if we need to. But we'll do West Valley first, and then we'll think about how we're going to connect Olathe. So we'll do the road. And I know that when I started this series, I said one of the tasks is going to be connect every city by train. Any city on a mesa is going to be quite interesting from our experience just then trying to connect it by road. But we'll find a way. It might just be a very, very, very expensive bridge, but we can make that work. By the time we get around to doing that, we'll have billions and billions and billions of dollars. I feel like we're nearly already at the point where we start snowballing in terms of money. So we'll see how that goes. Honestly, I don't know how much I care about making this road tidy. I might just come back and landscape it afterwards. Probably don't want to do too much deformation for now, but I'm also conscious that I don't want to spend a lot of time doing micromanagement of these roads. It's a quick autosave. There we go. What did I say about it being a very windy road? I guess we're avoiding the major land challenges. That's quite a dip. Might bridge that. We'll see. We're nearly there. But it's definitely going to be a lot more direct than it was before. No, that's not worth that much. This line is not going to be anywhere near profitable enough to justify that much investment at this point. Bring it back round. I mean, the most direct route would be to bridge both of those, but as I said before, it's going to be very expensive. Not worth the investment just yet. Could be that at a later date West Valley City becomes one of our largest cities. Not West Valley. Yeah, West Valley City becomes one of our largest cities, and it becomes worthwhile us investing lots of money and giving it some very fancy transport infrastructure. But right now it's backwater, so we're not going to spend too much on getting it set up. But the investment we put in now will help it grow in the future and make us lots more money when it gets bigger and starts demanding lots more stuff. You can see my train there. Depending on how much time we have today, we might revisit this and put another train or two. We're going to have to double track it. The demand at the moment is being met in Salt Lake City, so I'm not too worried about this line. It is sufficient, but it's not necessarily efficient, which is a different problem. And it could also potentially bring Arlington online as well. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, nearly there. And then we'll bring that round to there. Okay, there we go. So we are now connected all the way down, all the way through to our tools. Now I just need to put in the truck infrastructure and also a drop-off point here. So the return trip's going to be slightly less efficient thinking about this, because they're going to come through the city and then back out. So they'll come in and then go back out. So we need to put in for now a truck stop. Click there, do a street, loop it back around. Still come in, go around, and then come back out and up. Let's do a gentle bit of terraforming here, smooth that out. There we go. And here. And there. Okay. So we've got our final destination. Great series of films, by the way, if you've not seen them, I do recommend them. No tram track, one track, one platform even, and as long as we can get. We can probably, depending on how mad we go with, oh, this is going to be very, see how far we can get, because it might be flatter up here. We're going to be spending a lot of money. It doesn't matter. We've got lots of money. I need to stop worrying so much about money now. The further it is, the less distance I have to travel. That's also probably one of the cheapest spots I've seen it as well. Okay, so there we go. There's our truck stop. Bring it in. Do some gentle terraforming to make it look less horrendous. Okay. So, truck stop in. So once that's going to generate the logs, bring it over. One here. Now this is going to be interesting. What I might do, because they have to go in and out, we don't really want it too far this way, too far this way, is use this space we've got here. If we bring this out, make that stronger and bigger, bring this out, spending a lot of money doing this, probably would have been easier to not. Hang on, there we go. And then we can put in our truck stop. We'll do, this is dropping off and picking up, but it only needs the one anyway. We can put this in. A little bit of a soft rotation there. There we go. And connect that in. Tidy a little bit further. There we go. And then maybe do a little bit more. Turn the strength down quite a bit. And the size. Just here. Ease that off a bit. There we are. That looks right. There's some trees there as well. Not sure those trees are particularly suitable for this space. It's in a logging thing. It matches what's there. Never mind. Okay, so we've got the sawmill in. And now we need to go down and do our tools. And this one we can do it as far away as it will let us because we don't care. Bring this out. I could just do a straight one as well. So we've got plenty of space to expand into and we can add more to. We want 2 on the left. See how far we can get before we lose it. That is a long way. Okay, so there. Okay. So I'm adding 2 because we want to do one for Olathe as well later on, and we might come back for that, but we'll see. Could be that we bring it down to a certain point and then ship it the rest of the way. For now, we're just focusing on West Valley City. So we've got our points in. Let me just delete that. We need to do line now because I've created one. Line. Delete that. Stations to add. So we add station. So we start with the logging, to the sawmill, to the tools, and back through into West Valley City for the drop off. Yep, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna change that color because it's hard to see. Make that brown. There we go. Okay. And then that's going to be road freight, WVC logs to tools to WVC. Fine. That is West Valley City logs, Warrington, thanks. and then Lower Arlington tools. WVC, just there you go. I don't always rename my stops, but just because this one's quite large and quite out of the way, I don't know how frequently I'm going to come back to it, so it makes it easier for me to review it. And then because they're going to be starting up here, let's get the road hub as close to it as possible, get some cargo, and we're going to need a lot of these because it's a very long way. Let's do 40 for now. That's 1 million. That's not too much actually. I'll get going, and the demand will start generating. Let's just make sure they're not crossing over in and out. They're not. Okay, we want to configure that line. Manage line. Load any. Because they're going to take a sec for it to generate. And then we can actually start setting these. So it's load log, unload log, load plank, load plank, unload tools. Just spotted that I've paused it. And then unload everything there. Okay, so you can see them coming out now. And the logs are being generated. Might also set the weight on the planks as well. So full load any, and then make them wait a little bit, because what's going to happen is we're going to drop off the logs, and then they're going to go to the planks, drop off the planks, drop off the logs, they'll get turned into planks, but we need to wait for the planks to be generated to take them back to the tools. And I'll do the same actually on the tool terminus as well, just because they're going to be running back empty, and that's going to cost money. And it's not going to be like a huge amount of money, we can definitely afford it, but as we're getting the line set up, it's definitely more efficient to load them now. Let's see what that rate is. 27. So we need about 9 times as many. So what have we got now? We've got 40 vehicles on this. This is the kind of thing that would be good for a train, but getting a train down from here would be extremely expensive. So this is the best option we've got for now. So we are going to actually have to... I said 9. We actually need to go up to 400. Considering potentially bringing them on and them taking some to the planks as well, just so we don't need to have so many on here. So we could theoretically get a rate of 200 on here and a rate of 200 on there, which would then saturate this, and it would be more efficient, I think, because they're only going to be coming back with 100 tools. Yeah, okay, that's probably what I'm going to do. So this, we want to get up to a rate of, you better not be leaving empty. No, they're not. Okay, they are all leaving full. And our rate is so slow that we are still losing logs. Okay. Let's be really extra and just spam these guys up until we get to a rate of 200. That's a lot of vehicles. Good lord. Nearly there. One more. Okay, we'll do maybe like another 20. We'll do them in increments of 5. 192, 196, 199. Yeah, go on then, 300. I think this is probably the most vehicles I've had on a line, at least as much as I can remember. I guess that's one of the problems with the rate, so because of the date we're at, they're so slow that you need that many to be able to saturate the line, and we're not even saturating it because we're only taking half of it. Yeah, okay, so that's going to do 200, and we'll bring this one online to do another 200, just because it's going to be more efficient to fill it from here as well. And then these guys will then bring back, they won't come back empty, they'll come back with some tools. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let's just get this one set up. This one we can do quite far away. Need one. Rotate it around, see how far we can get before it complains. About there. A little bit further. Just there. Okay. Large. And in charge. Okay, and then we'll have a detour off. Well, actually, thinking about it, we don't even need to go into that road. Just go straight for the on-ramp for the Mesa highway. Some nice birds flying past. There we go. Get to about there, and then connect. It's going to be quite steep. Can I just angle that a bit? Yeah, there we go. Really? You want more tools? You already wanted tools. Oh, but they don't want construction anymore. Oh, yes they do. Okay, weird. Fine. Might just be because it's not... might just be a bug. So many logs. So far to travel. I mean, it's basically our own, like, our road. Nobody else is on it, so we don't need to worry about causing traffic for anyone. And then, again, just because of the distance between stuff right now and the time it takes to get places, we'll give this place its own road depot. And then we'll put the line in. Let's get a new line. To here. It's going to be RF, WC, logs, to AR planks. Let's put some vehicles on it. We'll do 20. Let's see what that rate gets to. Oh, 77. So we need to double and then some. Yeah, it's going to be 153. Increments of 5. So 172. 190, 210. 210 will do. Slightly over is better than slightly under. And what I'm going to do is actually add a second terminal here for the drop-off. Terminal, we want that one to be on 1. So, actually no, we want that to be on 1. We want brown, well, that one to be on 2. So this is, no, I just did that backwards. Okay, so blue is 1, brown is 2. Yeah, so the longer platform is for our longer journey that has the drop off. There we go. It's going to be interesting if these guys actually get here before these guys. It's going to be close. Now, there goes. Now he's coming downhill. He's sped up. Okay, yeah. So despite the fact that we started them about 5 minutes ago, these guys are still catching up. There we go. So we should now get lots of planks in here. Yeah, they're being generated. See, this guy should start getting filled up. Put him to one side. No, I didn't think about this, did I? That's the queue. I was wrong. Yeah, okay. Let's stop them waiting. Full load if available. Yeah, and then go. Because we're not going to get enough planks from the logs we've just delivered with them, and then they're going to cause a backlog. So actually that was a silly idea for me. Maybe now this guy's filling up. So that guy's leaving. No, maybe the next guy's going to have some planks. Speed up a bit. No. Have I made a mistake here? Let's just check this line. Move it out, manage line. So, load logs, load planks, unload planks, load tools, unload everything. So why isn't it... Oh, don't know why it's brought me over there. Why isn't it shipping suppliers? This needs more. Something isn't quite right here. These guys are now just going to go all the way around without any... What I'm going to do, actually, just because it's causing traffic, is let these guys drop off further down. Oh gosh, they can get pretty far down. Let's quit out all of those. So potentially we could stop at halfway. Yeah, okay, and then change this one to there and drop that. And then, yeah, let me just turn around, get back into the traffic line. Okay. So why isn't it shipping? Don't know if I've done something silly. I've checked. Okay, manage line. Just clear all of these. Load, unload, load, unload, load, unload. So I'll preset all of the filters and items. Oh, so it's definitely a problem with the filters. Okay. Weird. I'm sure that was set up right. So first one is going to be load. Nope. I need to pause it because I'm going to cause problems again. So first one is load logs. Second one is load planks, unload logs. Third one is load tools, unload planks, and that's just unload everything. So in theory that should still be working. Yeah. I don't see how that was different to how it was before, but okay, that's fine. It's now running. These guys are happy not having to go all the way up the hill. And we can shrink this now actually if we just get rid of these two. Make it smaller, make it tidier. Okay, cool. I'm going to let this run for a bit and then we'll cut back in once we have some tools in this line. So I'll see you guys in a minute. So it's been running for a bit and I've been taking a look at it. I think I've basically just wasted the last 20 minutes or so of making this line. Horses and carts are definitely not the best way to set this line up. And I think I was just blinded by this little challenge here. I think all of this cart nonsense would be far better suited to a train. Having now looked at this and realized this is relatively flat, we could probably put in a train to deal with all of this, use some carts to ship stuff up and down this really awkward bit, and then just put in another train line down here to get the planks to the tools and back, and then deal with this here. So I had really wanted to come back in and be celebratory with watching this guy make his delivery, but it's been running for a bit while you guys have been gone, and he still has a very long way to go. So I think what I'm going to do now is finish this episode, and next time we will be replacing all of this nonsense with trains. So thanks for watching. Hope you don't feel like you wasted your time. I certainly don't. But I'll see you next time.